Okay, well, we had a scrimmage today. It's just over 100 plays, which, a given player is probably in the 30 range. So a lot of work, offense, defense. We had multiple situations come up. It was really good overall. I thought it was really productive, and I love the guys' attitude towards the work. So.
Can you give me any specifics about who was impressive today?
It probably take a little while to name the guys that made plays, because a lot of different guys made some good plays today. The receivers made some great plays. I thought there were some great runs in that live period towards the end. The line showed up there, the running backs. Every QB had his moment. I mean, Jaron made some beautiful throws. Devin he's had his probably best day in the scrimmage, and EJ as well. So there's still a lot of variables on offense and defense, and when you have that many variables with calls, that there's some thinking going on. So we got to just get more comfortable, and we got to invest time in practice. We got to invest time off the field to get more comfortable, so we don't have to think when we're out there. We just go play.
What kind of season can Jonathan Brady have?
I think he can have an excellent season. That's what we're expecting. He did a good job coming in last year, and obviously had a huge game in the big game, but expecting big things from JB. Yeah.
How has he been able to build on that performance in spring so far?
Yeah, just continuing to, it's the day in, day out. That'd be the challenge for JB is the consistent high level play. I think that's anybody that you've seen that's had like a portion of a season that or some games where they flash. It's like, okay, we love that, but we really want to see, can we do that consistently, week in, week out, regardless of the opponent? Can we do it every day in practice? And that's what high performers do. The great players, they do it each and every day and each and every week. And so I think that's the challenge for anybody that's kind of been on that peaks and valleys, and see if we can do it every day.
We didn't ask you about him last time we had you, but Ron Rivera, is looking on at practice here. What are your thoughts on having him around? What's it like to have him around?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, he's been amazing for us in so many ways. Such a great resource, and really cares about Cal and Cal football. Got a long history in coaching and playing, and, talking about, there's a lot of different things that we talk about. Things that are directly football related and indirectly football related, and just, it's a lot of fun.
I'm a little unclear about his role as far as his interaction with you.
Oh, I talk to him all the time.
I mean, does he talk about football, or is it mostly about assessing the transfer portal? Or
oh yeah, we talk about everything. I mean, we really talk about everything.
Like
roster, like I just said, roster management, practice structure,
game planning.
A little bit, yeah, but I think it's more big picture things. Probably not as specific. We talk about some situational football that comes up, and then how the NFL is similar and or different, because there's certain things that are different in situational football in the NFL. There's certain things defensively, structure-wise, and offensively because of the hash marks. The RPO game is totally different. Unbalanced is totally different. So there's some things that certainly carry over fundamentally and conceptually, but not everything.
Would he be really directly involved in what's basically a salary cap now, as far as revenue sharing?
He's going to be involved in all that.
More so than you, perhaps?
It'll be a collaborative effort with everybody in football, and he has been fantastic. He's an unbelievable resource. He's going to be great for Cal football in every way. He's been and great for the university in every way.
And what would his involvement be as far as the transfer portal?
Well, we have official visitors here today, and we'll have official visitors throughout the spring and summer, and he'll be involved in that as well.
Coach, you talk about at this point, in the spring, how the camaraderie's been in each room, turnover with coaches,
Yep.
new coaches, new players, and kind of the era of sports right now.
Yeah, chemistry is a skill, just like blocking and tackling, and so you got to work on it, and you have to work to get to know your teammates, and I think we try to structure things to promote that. Winter workouts, meals, how we meet. We only have a certain amount of time that we can mandate things, and so we do structure things in order to get that crossover, and And then it's, really making it known to the players how important the chemistry is. I mean, the best teams that people play on, regardless in college, pro football, high school, or little, Pop Warner is like the closest teams. Very rarely is there a high-achieving team that has just a bunch of individuals. It's the guys coming together that care about their team, and they're not all going to be best friends. We get that, but you gotta, find value in the team, and so encouraging that, and then promoting it, and then the guys have to be willing to work on it, just like a skill.
Would you say Devin Brown, for example, he's someone who cited his own leadership a few weeks ago in his first interview? Do you think he's someone who's really stepped up and kind of helped group guys together?
I think he's done a great job of that. He's been in college football a long time, and he's got that personality. He's a very driven guy, very motivated. So you see that with him. I think you see it with the tight end room. But even young players can exhibit just engaging their teammates. I mean, whether it's Aiden or Jaron or some of these guys that have been here, Zeke, they haven't been here that long either, but they engage their teammates, get to know their teammates, and so they can lead in their own ways. And so I think you don't have to have been here for 4 or 5 years. And as a matter of fact, you can't count on that because there's just so much turnover anymore. You don't want the guys to come in and feel like they gotta, hold their tongue, so to speak, or sit back and watch. We don't want that. We want them to dive in and everybody get to know each other. We provide the structure and let's go. So I think you mentioned Devin, the QBs, the tight ends do that. I think the D-line has done a good job of that. TJ Boulders is a guy that brings people together, but I could go on and on and on about the number of guys that do that. It's really, really important in this era.
We've talked a lot about Devin's demeanor, his approach, professionalism is something that comes up. How has he been about dealing with every day's not going to be a good day,
Yep.
and to bounce back from some of those times when he hasn't played his best? How has he been about that?
I think he's done a good job. I think today's a good example of that. He didn't have his best scrimmage, the last scrimmage, and so I thought his approach to meetings and practice, he is very mature. He's a very, very mature guy that way, and you see that in just his daily operations and how he communicates and with the players and how he's in meetings and at practice. So he doesn't come across as a roller coaster guy that's up and down like that. He hasn't been like that with us. So really encouraged, just with him and his approach to the game. And the entire quarterback room, to be honest with you, that whole group, and Coach Harsh working with those guys. Coach Harsh is such a great resource for them, and whether Devin, Jaron, EJ, all those guys, they're coming out every day at practice. It's been really fun to watch those guys and their approach to the game because they're all getting better.
What's Devin's best asset?
Oh, that's a great question. I think he's got good stuff. I mean, if I had to pick one thing, that's a hard question.
Why ask?
I mean, the intangible part, I would say the maturity. I think his approach to the game. I just think he's got physical tools. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's big and he's got a strong arm and all that. He can throw the ball. I think it's his approach to the game. Like I said, there's one thing, and that's not to take away from the physical part, but the maturity and the approach.
Some of the younger guys on defense are getting an opportunity to do some different things throughout spring. Anybody that stands out to you? I know both BJs have kind of made some plays. Some Legend made a couple plays earlier in spring. I mean, any of those guys really stand out? Younger guys that maybe have a chance to take it.
Yeah, Legend flashed today. Aaron Hampton flashes. Aiden. It's so different coming from high school. So some guys it takes a little longer to transition than others, but he's got a great feel for the game. He's very, very serious about the game. He's got physical traits, and he's so young. So we just got to give him reps. But he learns from those reps, and I think he does a really nice job of, like, if something happens to him or he makes a mistake, that he's able to solve that issue and then maybe make a new mistake, which is okay. We're into new mistakes because that means we're not repeating the old ones. And I just think he learns really well, and he's got a good feel for the game.
Does it feel better when when you're recruited in, say, Hawaii compared to the mainland, that you nailed on, or it seems like you got a really good prospect and there's multiple from Hawaii? It's kind of harder to recruit from there, I'd assume.
there's no doubt that once you have a couple guys, from Hawaii, and you could say that maybe for other areas as well, but once you have a couple guys and they have good experiences and they're doing well, that you have a better chance to get more.
To work it around.
Yeah, and just the connection. There's such the island. There's a lot of people, but it's pretty tight knit community, and so they all know each other, and whether it's they know them directly or they're 1 degree of separation. So yeah, it's great when we've had even Stanley McKenzie, who's been here for a while now, and Stan and Sala, his mom, they seem to know everybody, and they knew Aiden and Jaron this way or that way. So absolutely, that helps. Yeah.
Maybe outside of Ryan, at that outside linebacker position, how would you kind of rate how you guys have done there?
I think it's a work in progress. I'm excited about the guys that we're repping at those positions, but I wouldn't say there's a pecking order right now. I mean, there's guys that have done some good things. We kind of keep talking about flashing. There's different guys have flashed. Now it's like, who's going to do it on a consistent basis, and will that come up? We'll see. Time will tell if one of those guys separates himself. But right now, I wouldn't say that we have had that.
Last thing, Jaden Ott, you mentioned early in spring, had one of the best practices you'd seen in a while.
Yeah.
How has he progressed?
Carried through. This past week, he's looked as good as, he made a cut today right over here, a jump cut that's as good as he's looked in a long, long time. So really exciting. I think he feels better and feels good. He sure looks like it. So that's exciting. Yeah.